These niggas take me for granted. What would happen if I finish? Bet 100 they panic. My shooters only speak Spanish.
Hello, I'm Isaac Harding, and today I will be talking about my favorite thing in music, Brockhampton. Who are they? They are a boy band from San Marcos, Texas, then Van Nuys, Los Angeles, and now Hawaii. We have Kevin Abstract, real name Ian Simpson. He's from Houston, Texas, referred to as the leader responsible for founding what is Brockhampton. He's also a gay man who helps represent in the hip-hop community, talks about it in his verses, he has good hooks, mostly does choruses. He has a good solo career, starting out with MTV 1987, a debut album, and American Boyfriend, a suburban love story. Joba, real name Russell Boring, is a vocalist for Brockhampton from Houston, Texas. He also helps with some of the production and is an audio engineer. He originally worked for a production company before being in Brockhampton. The then current members of Brockhampton at the time would record there. Then he quit and went to work with them to master and mix, but later he became the secret weapon, or a jack of all trades, a Swiss Army knife you could say. He can rap, sing, or scream like a maniac in a freezer. Next up is Don McLennan, real name Dominique Simpson. He's a vocalist for Brockhampton, arguably the most lyrical of the group. From Eastford, Connecticut, he helps bring a poetic effect to Brockhampton's music, some would say. He's had a solo career. He's probably the second best compared to Kevin. He released a mixtape, Thesis Side B, which is like kind of a mixture of his music, but he also had like images or GIFs and like kind of just more media things to it. And Dom really brings a nice effect to Brockhampton. Next up is Merlin Wood, real name William Ando Wood Jr. He's a vocalist for Brockhampton. Born in Chicago, spent some time in Ghana, but lived in Texas for most of his life. He brings a crazy yet spontaneous but yet serious at times vibe to Brockhampton. Referred as the hype man, he dropped out of college to join Brockhampton, and ever since he has been a member. Released some stuff such as Lazy Wood. After Merlin is Matt Champion, real name Matthew Champion. He's a vocalist for Brockhampton from Houston, Texas. He has a lot of swagger to the way he raps. Sometimes seems like he's overly confident. He raps in some songs almost to the point where it sounds like he's running out of breath. He released some songs solo too. Burn, You're Too Cool For Me, Fangs, and Mansion. After Matt Champion, we have Bareface, real name Saron McDonald. He's from Belfast, UK in Northern Ireland. He's been a producer, mostly a vocalist, and sometimes instrumentalist for Brockhampton. He brings a unique angelic voice to them. He sang in the early days of Brockhampton, mostly rock ballads at the end of their albums. But he's now branched out and is rapping on the newer songs in the new album. He would do remixes of songs before he joined Brockhampton. Some of them got quite popular. Now he's a unique, mysterious figure in Brockhampton. Ramil Hemnani is the main producer with Brockhampton. He's also from Hartford, Connecticut, like Dom. He's produced 33 of the 48 songs under 3-album trilogy Saturation from 2017. Other producers are Q3, a group of 2 producers, Kiko Murley from Jacksonville, Florida, and Jabari Manoir from Grenada. But that's not it. Brockhampton has some other people too. Photographer Ashton Gray, creative design director Henok Saleshi, or HK as they call him. There's their manager John Nunes, but most of all there's Roberto, or Robert Antenion. Starts off all their music videos with Memo Roberto. He was a producer and he's their web designer. Rodney Tanner, who was a vocalist, Albert Gordon, a producer, Anish Ochani, a manager, and most famous, Amir Van, who I'll make a different video completely on, but he had some things happen to him, allegations, got kicked out. I'll make a video on it. They formed on an online forum, Kanye to the, when Kevin Abstract said, "Who wants to make a band?" Got like some 30 responses, but every single member who's in Brockhampton right now responded to that pretty much. But Kevin also went to high school with members Merlin, Joba, Matt, and ex-member Amir. They all went to the Woodlands High School in Texas with each other, but before they were Brockhampton, they were Alive Since Forever. They released the ASF EP on BandLab. It consisted of Kevin, Dom, Amir, and Ramil, but Alive Since Forever split in 2015, and then later that year they created what we know as Brockhampton. In 2016, Brockhampton released All American Trash mixtape that was more like each member doing their own style but with each other. It wasn't until their next project that Brockhampton's sound would be found. June 9th, 2017, Saturation was released. It started out with Heat, a heavy-hitting track with good rapping, nice flows, and ended with Waste, a rock ballad performed by Bareface. Saturation was critically acclaimed. Another song to mention is Gold, a nice song about them needing and wanting the respect they deserve and other things. Saturation started off what is now known as a legendary trilogy in hip-hop. August 25th, 2017, Saturation 2 was released, and in my opinion, it's the best of the three. Starts off with an amazing track titled Gummy, ends with the best closing song on all of their albums, Summer, a love song / rock ballad performed by Bareface himself. It also has not to mention tracks like Sweet, which helped to boost the Brockhampton in getting the recognition they deserved. Also, other ones to mention are Tokyo, and the list goes on. All of Saturation 2 is just really good. December 15th, 2017, the final installment of the Saturation trilogy, Saturation 3, was released. Most people say it's the best of the three, has the best opening track of all of their albums, Boogie, a nice fast-paced action-packed song, kind of reflecting on all that they have done, and ending on another angelic track, Team, a rock ballad by Bareface, with the rest of the crew rapping at the end. Other notable songs on there are Bleach, arguably their most popular song. Also there's Zipper, Haughty. It's a really good album too. Brockhampton had announced Team Effort, but then it got delayed. Then later they announced Puppy for summer 2018, but due to some things that happened, when then Amir Van was accused of stuff, they put it on hold. We may not ever see them. Brockhampton had said they're sitting on a hard drive somewhere, but there are little snippets from the album over YouTube if you want to hear like a feel for Puppy or Team Effort. It's kind of crazy to me that they have 2 full albums scrapped because they had to kick out a member who did a lot for the albums. But then, in 2018, Brockhampton came back to the music scene with releasing 3 different singles throughout the summer, 1999 Wildfire, 1998 Truman, and lastly, 1997 Diana. They're all solid tracks, really nice. This is when we started to see Bareface doing new stuff, started to see Joba doing new stuff. They had more of a role now since Amir's been kicked out, and it started to show their progression into their next album. September 21st, 2018, under RCA Records, Brockhampton released Iridescence, an experimental album that was recorded at legendary Abbey Road Studios. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 200, and it was their first ever number 1 album. It was met with mixed results, as some solid tracks like Tanya, San Marcos, and Gilver, and the first entry and the first album into the best years of our lives trilogy. So, Brockhampton hasn't announced any new albums currently, but they're obviously going to make new albums. That's what they do. They're probably in Hawaii, cooking up beats, writing stuff. They just have barely finished their I'll Be There tour, but I think they're in Europe right now doing some shows too. But they're doing good. They were performing at Camp Flog Gnaw the past 2 years, I think. They performed on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. They've played at Coachella. They played at a bunch of festivals in Europe. So they're pretty, good. American boy band. It was focused on Kevin Abstract's American Boyfriend tour, but it also had some stuff about pre-Saturation 1, like they were recording videos for their music videos. That's what I meant by videos. They also had All-American Trash documentary about them making All-American Trash, Saturation documentary, them about making Saturation, and The Longest Summer in America, their newest one that is kind of talking about Iridescence, Amir, all the stuff that happened in the summer. Longest Summer in America, self-titled. And then there's a short film by Kevin Abstract called Billy Star. I recommend you check out all of them. I think Longest Summer in America isn't on YouTube anywhere, though. It was out in select theaters. I haven't even seen it. I want to see it, but yeah, they're all pretty cool. What do you think about Brockhampton? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and please consider subscribing. And tell me what artists you want to see next. And with that being said, this is the end of the video.